Hey, what's up guys? The new balance changes that just buffed Dagger Duchess have severely shaken up the game. The ranked 7 player in the world is annihilating everyone in the game with this deck, making the best players in the world write rage tweets asking for emergency nerfs on Dagger Duchess. When you play Dagger Duchess with Sparky or Goblin Giant Beatdown, you can ignore a ton of spam. Anything less than 3 elixir gets deleted by the Dagger Duchess quickly, especially bait cards like Goblin Barrel and Wall Breakers. So when you set up a Sparky push, opponents are left with 2 options. Fully focus on defense and only have the potential of taking damage dealing none of their own, or go on offense and take a terrible negative elixir trade. This Goblin Giant Sparky deck got buffed because the P.E.K.K.A and Electro Dragon both got nerfs. Dagger Duchess got a big buff, and Dark Prince's charge got improved so it connects more quickly. Even when your opponents have Sparky answers with Electro Dragon or Rocket, you can do 2 different attacks with Elite Barbarians or Sparky, so the opponent will have to defend both sides. Just tank for one side with the Dark Prince and the other with the Goblin Giant, and you're good to go. It's time to drown our opponents in daggers and assert dominance. And big Sparky love to everyone supporting the channel with credit code SirTag. It's awesome to see new cards splash into the meta in a big way. Elite Barbarians is not something that you see at high ladder very frequently, but in this meta, with Dark Prince being able to shell out some nice splash damage to finish off bait cards that would distract the E-Barbs, and also the Dagger Duchess putting in work on defense, then if the opponent spams other side with bait cards, you can actually use E-Barbs plus your small spells and Heal Spirit and feel okay if they spam. So it's nice to be able to have defenses with the Dagger Duchess. A lot of pros like Riley are complaining that Dagger Duchess needs a nerf right now. So it's kind of funny if you're asking me, because like we went full circle. Dagger Duchess was broken, they nerfed it to the ground, and now it's buffed again, and everyone's like, no, take it back, take it back. But hey, here we are. We're abusing one of the most overpowered decks in the game, and choosing to enjoy some of the new cards in Clash. So we're definitely going to go for a zap here. I think raging is also slightly optimal, because if we rage up the Sparky, we might be able to get another shot on the tower ideally. So it didn't happen as we hoped, but it is what it is. We can still go Heal Spirit and pull that back, and then get a Dark Prince down on the Valkyrie, because the Valkyrie will hit my tower if I don't get that Dark Prince down. The good thing about Dark Prince is it will outrange Valkyrie like that, and then the opponent's just left there with the axe in the ground, wondering what went wrong. The Dark Prince, of course, will hammer down some damage on the tower as well. But notice how reliable the Dagger Duchess is comparatively to what it was before. It just fires so fast. So it'll completely clean up those skeleton dragons with only 500 damage dealt. Now we have the ability to go for like a zap to reset the Inferno Dragon. I'm definitely going to do that. It's not necessarily like the best play in the book in most situations, but if we can damage down the Valkyrie to the point that it's negligible and I can just finish everything off with an Electro Wizard, that's fine for me. Also, matching into someone that has a Inferno Dragon means that I probably want to go and kite that to the other side so the other Dagger Duchess can kill the Inferno Dragon. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but the Inferno Dragon should just die straight up. Now he has nothing with the Lava Hound. So since I only have Electro Wizard, that's how you win this matchup. You kind of have to piece apart their offenses, and then you can make it work. So we have Electro Wizard here. I don't love doing this, but I think it is a reality that I have to face. I'm also going to go Heal Spirit, and then I could go in for an Evolve Zap on everything. I'm going to try to hit the zap when we're going to be able to kill. Please work. Okay, yes. Beautiful. That was perfectly played on our end. Then I can go in for a Dark Prince here. He's going to go in for a Valkyrie, which is fine because I think we can Heal Spirit our way through if we're not unlucky. And then we can go for a zap and then rage up the Goblin Giant. He'll probably go Skeleton Army. He's going to Evo Zap instead, interestingly enough. We only have Skeleton Army in hand. With Balloon, this isn't going to be near enough to break through our stuff. So we're going to go in for a Goblin Giant on the other side. If he balloons, it's okay because we have Electro Wizard. I also want to go Dark Prince because I think he's going to have to defend both sides simultaneously, and he probably isn't able to because he just exhausted his Valkyrie. So with the Heal Spirit, we're going to put in a ton of damage and possibly just win the game with one more bash. Beautiful win for us, and as you guys can see, even if you're unlucky and you match into someone with a Lava Hound Inferno Dragon deck, when all you got for air defense is an Electro Wizard, you can still make it work if you time your Evolve Zap perfectly on defense. And can't forget about that nasty Inferno Dragon kite with the E-Barbs early on. Despite this deck being notoriously low skill, there's still matchups that you have to think to win. And every video that I post, there's always someone saying, this deck loses to Lava Hound. But if you play well enough, even with one anti-air answer, you can win. Here we go. We are blessed with one of the best possible starting hands. I love starting up a Sparky in the back and erasing whatever card my opponent drops in the back. So if they go Knight, it's a 3 elixir investment that we gobble up with our Sparky. That is 3 elixir down the drain. He does a -1 trade there with the Goblin Gang directly into our Dagger Duchess. And now we're up an insane amount of elixir. So I can go Goblin Giant here, eat the bats, and then go for a rage with the Goblin Giant directly on the Firecracker to hopefully kill it. If I can kill this Firecracker, I might just win the match. If that doesn't happen, the Firecracker will be able to seize the Goblins, and we aren't going to be able to kill the Mini P.E.K.K.A that quickly. However, I can get a Dark Prince down, and then I could maybe go Heal Spirit on the Firecracker so it doesn't splash onto my tower here, and the Dark Prince will eventually kill the Firecracker with only one hit. So, not that bad. Ooh, great zap value. We take those. He can't go Mini P.E.K.K.A, so he's got to go Knight or Goblin Gang, and Goblin Gang's bad because it does not give him any pressure at all. So 3 elixir down the drain there. Also a 2 elixir investment with the bats. So makes me feel really comfortable setting up our Sparky in the back, then immediately going in for a Goblin Giant. And if he cycles things in the other side, what we can do is we can use our Electro Wizard to kill bait cards, rage on top of other bait cards that we're scared of, or simply go for Elite Barbarians and posture our E-Barbs directly on the Firecracker first, and then have them wiggle their way back and then work on top of the Rail Hogs afterward. And we have the potential of dropping Dark Prince on either side. I'm actually going to elect to do it with the E-Barbs because I think the E-Barbs are a bit more confusing for our opponent to counter. I don't think he's going to enjoy this at all because the Sparky as well is going to force out a Mini P.E.K.K.A. Oh, if I got the Heal Spirit down, it would have died. If you didn't know, Sparky plus Heal Spirit even kills the buffed Mini P.E.K.K.A's health. Didn't happen perfectly, but if it did, bro would have lost his entire right tower too. His left tower is in shambles already, so very easy victory. That's how this deck functions. If your opponent messes up, they get messed up. They're forced to leave the match, and then you can kind of just flex on them for the rest of the game. Also, a lot of people have been underrating Evolve Zap, but watch this. It still kills Evolve Firecrackers. That's a +1 trade, and it just erases it so you never have to worry about it anymore. It's one of the most annoying cards in Clash. Speaking of annoying, we basically 3-crowned him with 1 health Elite Barbarians. And we're going to let him take a tower so we can finally finish the job in the most dramatic manner possible, snagging every single one of his crowns. That's the destructive nature of this deck. Your opponent will get 3-crowned more than likely if they don't have a Lava Hound deck. Here we go. We are praying for no balloon here. Clash Royale, I would love to see an easier matchup because this deck destroys bait decks easily. And let's freaking go. We get him to Battle Ram, first play directly into E-Barbs. It would have been better for us to go and set up a Sparky, but you don't always have that luck. So one of the reasons that Sparky functions so well with Dagger Duchess is Dagger Duchess is trash into tank decks. But when you have the overwhelming damage potential of Elite Barbarians and also Sparky, you don't have to worry about Electro Giants, you don't have to worry about Golems. Your Sparky will save your butt. Against bait cards, you're able to ignore a lot of them and just have your Dagger Duchess encapsulate whatever bait cards your opponent spams at you, and you get a positive elixir trade. So I like that a lot. It's refreshing to have a synergistic deck that allows you to overcommit and still be okay. I mean, it allows bad players to win a lot of times with this Sparky deck. We're going to go Heal Spirit, and then we're just going to soak up that Mega Knight jump. It was pretty funny that it jumped on 1 elixir card. You would think that Mega Knights had brains, but sometimes they don't. The Mega Knight just literally jumped on the wrong thing. We can go E-Barbs at the bridge because if we're up a bunch, might as well try to keep the Sparky alive and do a bit of a dive with as much spam as possible. We can rage this up, potentially, and just hit whatever we want with the Sparky. Nice, and 1 more E-Barb hit is all we need. Beautiful. So we've already taken out the tower. As long as we defend the next push, this is game in the bag against Mega Knight without us even having to try. Please, 1 Spear Goblin hit something. Let me 3-crown. Come on. Wait, no, I can still 3-crown because he took a tower. I forgot. Okay, I'm a failure. I always sacrifice for the 3-crown. That is how we play Clash Royale. Sometimes, even against my wishes, we lose a tower, so we can get the 3-crown guaranteed. So we desire our Sparky in our starting hand and our opponent spamming directly into it at the start of the match. But when that doesn't happen, we have to think of different ways to play. So when I've got double small spells, I'll antagonize him by cycling a zap on the tower, not only because it gets us the evolution, but because it does some damage to the tower and it puts us in a nice spot where our opponent will likely be spamming directly into us afterward. So I'm going to go for E-Barbs to capitalize on killing those goblins. And we have dual lane pressure here, but we're going directly into a bait deck, and we don't have Zap and Cycle, so there is no way for us to kill that Inferno Tower. I am going to go Rage for our E-Barbs. I think that the Spear Goblins will put in a little bit more work, and maybe we're going to be able to kill a Royal Ghost, but it's not that impactful for us. We're not going to get that much damage. Bare minimum, like, we force out Elixir like Wall Breakers, but if you solo Wall Breakers directly into Dagger Duchess, if you don't know, Dagger Duchess completely cleans them up. So it's not that impactful that we were able to get out the Wall Breakers or kill one of them there. If there were 2, they were still going to die. So I'm going to go in for the Sparky push on the right. I'm going to force out a Firecracker. Evolve Zap on the Firecracker hits different, so I'm going to try to cycle to that eventually. But I don't want to haphazardly spam my zap for no reason right now. If we can kill the bandit, that'd be cool. Ooh, beautiful. All right, we're gonna go Goblin Giant here. He might lose his... Yo! That's insane! Okay, we're gonna zap after a couple seconds so we can reset the Inferno Tower. We're gonna rage it up. We might be able to kill the Inferno Tower fast. And if the Heal Spirit keeps the Goblin Giant alive, that's ludicrous! There's no way that that just worked. Wow, that was wild. The Goblin Giant that refuses to die is gonna steal from our opponent every second he's alive. Unfortunately for us, I played like a fool. So I'm gonna say well played here. He deserves the damage that he gets. But notice how the Electro Wizard will be able to shut down the majority of the goblins afterward. And the Dark Prince actually took the entire tower. So I'm okay with his positioning, actually. Thinking about it retroactively, I should not have been spamming as much as I did, but it be what it be, you know? I could have played a little bit better on defense and not cycled that Dark Prince. But it be what it be. That drill did hurt me. Okay, we can Evo Zap here, because it is going to go and kill everything if we can get a Heal Spirit, and then I can get Dark Prince on top of the drill. So the main thing that I'm scared of is the goblins from the drill. The bandit isn't going to kill me. The goblins, however, that is an entirely different story. So we're going to throw down our E-Barbs here. We're going to rage this up, and we are going to go and plant down a Zap so we can clean up the Inferno Tower. I hope we can clean up the Firecracker too. That is beautiful value again. The E-Barb is near the tower, and it is forcing out all of our opponent's defenses, even wall breakers, man. The amount of times we have seen wall breakers on offense is sacrilegious, bro. That thing should never be deployed on defense unless you're trying to pull back a P.E.K.K.A. or maybe something that's flying through at a very slow speed. You're dropping wall breakers as a meat shield, man, you are going to get melted because those things are like glass. Wall breakers will break apart and your defense will crack as soon as I have any bit of damage. Let's go. Time to poke Mr. Poker. And unfortunately, we can't poke him on dual lane pressure very frequently because the Dagger Duchess exudes so much defensive power that if I go for a Dark Prince here and then E-Barbs here, he's going to be able to obliterate them both simultaneously. However, if we get to the later stages and we can build up one push in one side, he's going to get astonishingly stomped by our Sparky spam. So I don't think he wants to do much, so I'm going to go Dark Prince. Never cycle Electro Wizard in this deck. It's the #1 card that you might need to counter random balloons or mid-ladder cards that your opponent could have. I'm going to go Rage here so then our Dark Prince moves faster. So I think if we make moves a bit more aggressively, we could force out cards that our Sparky will be able to counter. So even if the monster gets close to our tower, as long as it isn't upon our tower, I'm okay with it. He can't pop the ability and hit my tower. All he can do is hit the Sparky, which he's not going to do because he's going to lose that to our Dagger Duchess. The bad thing is the Doctor does outrange the Sparky, so something to keep in mind. It is good, though, when it's fighting on your side of the map because your tower will clean it up and it gives you more time to afford more elixir, so your pushes will be bigger. I'm going to go E-Barbs here, and then I'm going to Heal Spirit. I do think that the Sparky's going to die, but I don't necessarily really even care about that. I more so care about these Elite Barbarians. Also, if you guys are noticing something, the recruits on the left are going to do a ton of damage to me, but it's going to be harder for him to stop the Elite Barbarians because E-Barbs do a lot more damage. They should take the entire tower, and we can scavenge up enough elixir to go in for a Dark Prince. There's no way! We killed the Doctor! That must be demoralizing, my dude. And I can go for an Electro Wizard here on the Ram. The Ram got nerfed, so it dies a lot easier to Electro Wizard. Even if the opponent has a Rage or something, you're going to be fine. I'm going to cycle Zap just so we don't take too much damage here. But for the rest of the match, I'm just going to be subtly cycling Sparkies on the left side, shutting down whatever bridge spam he does. And if he decides to go Ram Rider, I'll drop E-Barbs or Electro Wizard. We'll stop it and we'll win the match very easily. When both you and your opponent are trading sides and attacking simultaneously, it's usually not going to be a tower trade because your cards are so cost effective on defense, with the Dagger Duchess cleaning up whatever bait cards your opponent throws down, while your Elite Barbarians, Dark Prince, or Electro Wizard can clean up most win conditions or hard-hitting cards. Let's go! Man's got a miner sitting back, relaxing, and vibing, so if he's just going to be sitting there with his eyes shut, who am I not to spam him? This is the one game I'm going to go full degen status. I would never recommend to do this unless you're an idiot like me. Full send right into a rocket. I'm sorry, E-Barbs. You deserved a bit of a better life. I tried it for science and you failed me. So if you do those type of plays, you're likely going to be losing the game because not only you do not know what your opponent's going to have, you could drop that into a Mega Knight, a Rocket, a Valkyrie, whatever it may be. But hey, I wanted to try it, and I'm keeping it in here, guys, because we got to keep it 100. Don't do plays like that. You want to wait for your opponent to make the first play. Otherwise, you're going to feel like a bit of a failure. Also, I love Dagger Duchess in the meta right now. I don't know if we covered this earlier, but Dagger Duchess plus Zap can clean up a Dark Goblin before it fires on your tower. I think it's better for us just to eat this damage because I think the Goblin Giant can help us clean up these Spear Goblins without too much of a problem. If I go Dark Prince like this, we might be able to take the targeting of the Inferno Tower if we drop it fast enough. And at worst case scenario, the Dark Prince arrives on the Inferno Tower faster. So in the later stages of the game, we might be able to go Dark Prince there and then Zap and then kill his Inferno Tower. This is going to be a tough match. I can't sugarcoat it at all. This is definitely not the position that we wanted to be in. If we're playing against someone with Rocket and we have Sparky, well, maybe we can bait out the Rocket with our Elite Barbarians. But much like the first match of the day, we're ending with one of the most difficult challenges we could ever face. Rocket Log Bait. And Lava Hound at the start. I mean, this game's kind of like sandwiched. All the easy ones at the start and in the middle, I guess. And then the first and last match are not easy at all. They're the most diabolical matchups we could have ever conceived in Clash. So I do want to go in for a Goblin Giant, but I don't want to waste the evolution. So it might be better for me to go for a Sparky. Okay, never mind. We're going to go for Elite Barbarians. He's definitely going to go and spam them mostly on the left because if he decides to drop the regular goblins on the left, then he's going to be not dying to a small spell like Rage or something like that. Bro. Okay. Is there a moment? He can't get back to the Rocket immediately. He takes 4 cards to get back. It is double elixir, so it is possible. But if we make strides in the right direction, we might be able to ram away with a win. We're going to use our Dark Prince here, as I was talking about before. We're going to use our Zap, and hopefully, maybe, we're able to manifest a way to win. We're going to use Dark Prince plus Rage. We're going to clean up all the surrounding cards, and we're able to pound through the tower. Please let me beat Logbait Rocket Clash Royale. You know you want to give me the dub. Let's freaking go. So even the most annoying matchup in the game where your Sparky should get shredded, a lot of times you can force out the Rocket with Elite Barbarians, or even if they don't do that, what I would recommend doing is an Elite Barbarians push with your Goblin Giant and then Dark Prince in the middle to hopefully mess up the targeting of the Inferno Tower, targeting the Dark Prince instead of the Goblin Giant. And even if you don't get it initially on the Dark Prince, you might be able to make that happen with the Zap to reset it. Every matchup that wasn't Lava Hound or Logbait Rocket was unbelievably easy. And as exemplified by the first and last game, the tough ones are totally outplayable. Because of the Dagger Duchess buff, it seems like Sparky has sparked up new life as one of the best decks in the competitive meta. Dagger the like button, subscribe for more daily content, and have an amazing rest of your day.